no Sona as well.
Are they going for... Nah, they cannot go for a double Enchanter build here in the bottom lane, because again, we still have a withstanding rule that a marksman needs to get picked up in your 5-man lineup. Now, the last ban here by FPX will most likely still be targeted. Oh, it will be targeted on towards Corn. So FPX is actually in the belief that Weiba would be playing. Wow, Weiba would be playing Yone in the jungle.
They read them efficiently here. Trace Esports forced to lock in a Zeri and go with a double ADC here for their side. Lots of scaling champions, 3 in fact, are scaling here on the side of Trace Esports, which will be necessary for later on to battle against FPX. But the question of how they will battle against FPX in the early game is still very, very dull. And Lucian gonna be locked in. They can still go with something like an Ornn here. It's massive team fighting for FPX.
Yeah, if they get to lock in the Ornn, team fighting by FPX would just explode right out the gate, right? Like Ornn Horn followed through by the Hecarim and the Aatrox and Hemoplague as well. It's just picture perfect if you look at it. Laning phase wise though, it's not too shabby for the side of FPX. They have a very strong laner in the bottom lane. Mid lane will be a tit for tat, right? Like the Vladimir will just continuously trade and scale up against the Zeri. But on the top side, the Aatrox versus Renekton, it's not similar to the Renekton versus Fiora, in where the Fiora will just be on a one-sided beatdown in the early stages. I really think we have a 3-0 in the making here, Yang.
As much as I want to see Trace Esports win, I still have to agree on you on this one. Because FPX, one thing really just pops into my mind as they finish this draft, and that is massive AoE damage. Massive AoE crowd control as well. And how will the double ADC kite here if everyone is just going to be chasing them? And I mean everyone, even the Lucian can go to Corn and Yuri head to head and not flinch at all.
Trace Esports going for what we would say a very effective strategy in allowing Weiba carry the team for them. I think with the picks that was prioritized here by Trace Esports, I really don't think that he would have enough resources for himself to finally showcase what he's made of. As you did say, this is a triple scaling composition. You have 2 marksmen that basically need a lot of items. You have a Renekton that would not leave one side of the map. And so if Trace Esports will find themselves again in a massive early game hole, expect that FPX will end up winning 3 games in a row. Man, oh man, what a story for FPX.
Also a massive responsibility for Tak to be able to cancel the engages here of FPX, because he's the only one that can do it as well. Cast body slam, him sacrificing himself probably as well for the safety of his allies is necessary for later on.
Kong is still flexing his muscles here in the bottom lane, right? Like for sure, right? With this being the lane setup, Ezreal is not really known to be the best early game champion. You have to tip your hat on towards the Lucian, and so far Kong, in the 2 games that he has played against Yosa had no answer whatsoever. This time around though, against a substitute Dragon laner that is pretty much a original DR laner, things might change.
Yuri is playing this safely, but just by textbook for Trace Esports, just scaling up, focusing on the CS, poking a little bit towards Gong and Chao, and not letting them poke him as well. It's necessary for the laning phase, but they have to be very careful since Tak won't be able to help him out as much as he can, just because of the amount of burst damage that this Lucian and Ornn can actually do.
They have to be mindful of the walls. Oh, double man knockup. This is what we were saying, right? Like with Chao also having access to buy items outside the base, it just means that it's so hard to win against an Ornn and Lucian composition, allowing Bo7 all the freedom that he needs to assert his dominance on towards the bottom lane.
And they're just continuously poking them as well. Half HP for Yuri, a little bit higher on attack just because he has the passive for the healing. Top side though, Lisa doing a really good job in just shoving the waves constantly into the tower of Don 8.
Shingdo is level 5. Shingdo is level 5. And Zach needs to be super careful.
They have to walk away and give some plates to FPX just because of this mere play that Chao is going. Also, the Shadow is going to be used and Tak is just dead. First blood by FPX and Yuri cannot do anything.
Shingdo 7, perfect. Gank pathing towards here, towards the bottom lane, and this is pretty much the same recipe for success for FPX. If they win one side of the map, they can snowball the game out of control. No surprises here. FPX gets the first blood, gets 1k advantage early into the game. Let's look into the replay once again. Shingdo 7 just waited for the perfect opportunity to use his onslaught of shadows. And that layering of CZ, no chance at all for Tak to make a play.
It's so clean for FPX. This is a big, massive improvement by this team, because they started up in this tournament with a good run. However, they kind of slowed down just because of how reckless they kind of became. This is a team that won 2-0 against EDG during the start, and EDG kind of liked their performance, liked their strategy as well, and basically did that the same and went for a 10-game win streak. And FPX now is polishing, becoming just like EDG right now.
Right, exactly. And this is pretty much the way to play against a team that centers their play around their jungler, allow your jungler enough resources to be impactful. Shingdo 7 is no stranger to the big stage. Has been, another setup.
Oh, the flash is going to be used by Kong as well.
Very good cast though.
Very good.
Yeah, it was the explosive cast by Tak pushing away Chao, allowing for the Ornhorn, or not allowing the Ornhorn to have that second cast, and still the aggression here by Kong using the flash to threaten Yuri just says one thing. They want to win so hard.
And they're winning so hard already from the start of this game. 1,300 gold lead going towards the second plate taken down here in the bottom side tier 1. Don 1-8 not feeling any pressure in the laning phase is already a warning sign for Trace Esports.
They just got out drafted. And now it comes down to execution for FPX. If they will not surrender any massive team fight in the early stages of this game, surely they will still be in control come mid game and late game as well, because their scaling is not too shabby, right? Like you look at their lineup, they scale well into the late game.
Yeah, the only way for Trace Esports to win in this game is if FPX makes a big mistake. And now the engage towards Lee South, stunning him down. Ruthless Predator going to be used into the Fate Seal. Is Shingdo 7 is just going to fall. And the Renekton lives as well. Wayba though is going to be traded out back a little bit late on the body slam. 1-for-1 trade. Trace Esports still can fight this if they want to, but they have to draw them towards the tower first. And
yeah, well, a jungler for a jungler, but Lisa able to survive with just 1 HP was clutch though, right? Like he got targeted down, but you still have to respect the threat of this Hecarim pickup. Had it been that onslaught of shadows connected, that could have been a very dead top side or Lisa. But action continues. Shingdo 7 is here.
Yeah, they want to get this RH Kong taking much damage already. Wayba is in the vicinity trying to get the steal, and he will not! As the Hecarim picks it up for FPX. Sky though is going to be targeted here by Lee South. The stun is going to be coming through, but the heal, Hemo Plague is just enough to sustain him. Vladimir things, man. Vladimir things.
Yeah, just the fact that he had the empowered blood transfusion would allow for him to get a lot of HP back. And now FPX, I really think that they will just be letting this go. No! Okay, well, Trace Esports has decided that they don't have enough to really get this dragon for free, and so FPX will just translate it into another objective team fight win. 6 minutes in, a double objective for FPX, and that just might do it for the early game of Trace Esports.
They weren't able to get the tower in the mid lane, but it's fine. 155 HP, they can go at it later on. The dragon is a priority, and they will take it as well. And that cannot intercept anymore. The laser is going to be coming through, unable to get the steal though, as Chao is just disengaging. The FPX very clean.
Did you see that? Like, Shingdo 7 did not even use the smite. I don't think the smite was available. God, that was so close though, right? Like that.
Almost.
That laser from Korn would have, if that Drago was stolen, surely momentum will be regained here by Trace Esports. But that was playing with fire. Shingdo7 have no respect whatsoever to Trace Esports.
Yeah, this is how confident FPX is. This is their game. This is them just being on their form. But it can be at most risky as well. They need to play it a lot safer later on and not give any chance for Trace Esports to come back here in this game, because just one chance, just one team fight can allow them. But this time the mid is going to be intercepted, just separating the Gragas, and it's just going to be taken down as well. Yuri though taking a lot of damage. The tower's going to be taken down. Lisa going in as well, getting straight onto the Vladimir. As he goes in once more. Dawn 128 is too fast though, and he lets him be.
Yeah, that's good though. That's a 1-for-1, and Trace Esports would have enough pressure to at least threaten this mid lane tower. No, they're going to back away. But that's the best answer that you can hope for if you're Trace Esports. FPX was really running away with things, and they can go for long-range engage such as this. The layering of CC, Shingdo7 from the back, Horn from the front, and they have one target in mind, and that is to take down this tower. They were successful in doing so. In return though, the Vladimir went down.
Trace Esports, man, they are running out of options. FPX is getting more and more options because power spikes are coming through. 8 minutes already has transpired, and they still have a good amount of lead in terms of gold for FPX and scaling as well, since they were able to get double objectives. And now, top side, Korn and Tak are, well, still fine. Calling a little bit late there for Delusion, and they're just walking up. Buying in front!
Yeah, it's just asserting his dominance against the dual lane. Shingdo7 is here once again to back up Dawn 128, but Sky! Oh, good flash.
Oh no, this is bad for Trace Esports. Kong doesn't have much mana anymore, and he's just gonna get deleted in an instant. Takas one missing the bottom side, but the flash of Sky is just top notch.
And that's another casualty to the side of Trace Esports without any exchange. And that's how different FPX is compared to Trace Esports, right? Every single thing that FPX wanted to do, they're successful in doing so without even no penalty. And now this pickup by Weba of the Yone pretty much is the win condition by Trace Esports, right? Like the way things went for Trace Esports in this game, they want Weba to carry, but so far he's not being allowed to do so, right? Like zero impact in the entirety of this game.
Zero. And that's very uncharacteristic of Weba, but it's to understand as well why this is happening. And it's just so sad for Weba and Trace Esports right now being chained and unable to tap into their full potential right now in this series. We just see them being on the receiving end of a one-sided beatdown by FPX.
A 4K advantage, and Dawn 128 pops the World Ender.
Well, that's great damage. Korn is just gonna get left here, and Dawn 128 and Shingdo7 just gonna run him through.
Man, you have to feel for Korn. That's 2 deaths in a row. He's just getting targeted, and then there's pretty much zero reaction from Trace Esports, and this is pretty much the way things are going to happen in the next few minutes, right? Like there's, the power spike of Trace Esports will take a while. They have 3 champions that centers around scaling. In Shingdo7, Chao will not hesitate to pull a tracker over and over again, especially with the way things are going for FPX.
It's like everything is already predetermined. FPX from the start, before the series even started, we were already saying that this patch is just better for them more than Trace Esports. It's actually a big crutch to Trace Esports right now. Weibo unable to do anything, not yet allowed to pop off. Even on the Yone, he is still struggling.
He's level 13 though. Has 2 items. So now it's probably time for them to set up something for this Yone jungle pickup, but it does look like that FPX will not even get challenged here on the second dragon. So for Trace Esports, it's all about the third dragon, right? Like preventing, of course, the Ocean Soul to join the party of FPX, and it will just be a waiting game for FPX and Trace Esports now, right? Like they wanted to continue to scale up and have enough resources, gift it over to their jungler, which is so far so good for Trace Esports, right? Like, they've been so good in funneling the resources over to Weiba. But the question is it enough, right? Like, by gifting over the resources over to Weiba, you are also taking away from some other players of Trace Esports. And with the way things are going right now, FPX is not going to be willing to wait it out. They have a Baron that they can play around with, and force another team fight against Trace Esports, which they will most likely win once again.
Yeah, because they're that ahead already. Donovan to 8 is hungry.
Horn.
He wants some blood. He wants the bodies here of Trace Esports to fall down. Dominus gonna be already by Lisa. They're prepping. Cass gonna be used. They're unable to separate the members here of FPX. The backside is gonna be infiltrated. Fury trying to fight it out. Korn as well, getting the ult done as Leone falls down. That's already 2 kills by FPX. And nothing that Trace Esports can do. They have to be very careful because they have no vision here on the brush. FPX disengaging, but again, re-engage again.
The only positive point was that Trace Esports was able to get the red buff, but in exchange for what, Xiao can go in and Lee Sao is going to die.
Yeah, immediately popped off. FPX is not letting them intercept here in the Baron at all. Warning shots are death shots, basically.
Yeah, and now FPX will have enough time. Okay. Wait, Bo7 is really playing with our hearts today.
Yeah. we're used to Bo7 not smiting anymore. And yeah,
yeah, it's super close. But let's look at this play once again by FPX. They don't want Weiba to have enough resources to really go for that late game carry highlight. Got immediately pinned down with all that AoE, and those choke points, pretty much, that's a zero chance to survive, and that's a zero chance to escape from Bo7.
Korn is not allowed to play at all anymore. FPX is not allowing him to enjoy this game.
Oh no.
Being taken down so many times. The Fate Seal is going to be used, but Lisa is just going to be taken down first. Weiba running towards the wrong side. Oh no.
He's going to just wait it out.
Yeah.
Bang! You have to go back, and there you go. A stab to the heart.
Of Trace Esports, definitely. FPX now knocking onto the base of Trace Esports, getting the charge in, the Hemo Plague as well, the flash in by Kong, trying to take Korn down and giving them such a destructive game. FPX going for match point, and Trace Esports has no options but to fight.
All games has been pretty much one-sided. All games less than 16 minutes, Kiang and FPX rise